I get emails every single week from traders who have lost everything: college funds, retirement accounts, years of savings, all because they made the same mistakes. After 15 years of trading and training thousands of traders, I've identified the 10 deadly sins that destroy accounts. The brutal truth: you're probably committing at least half of them right now, and number 4 is absolute poison. The first trading sin is unrealistic expectations of success. Most of you come into trading thinking you will be profitable in a few months, maybe a year if you're being conservative. That belief alone puts you on a collision course with failure because you will not give yourself a proper runway to succeed. At Trillium, the trading firm that I started my career at, we would tell new hires that the expected learning curve is around 2 years. Now think about that. That is a 2-year learning curve for traders that have all the resources in the world. They are given mentorship, a competitive environment, the best tech, lots of capital, and they're working at it full time. Even with all of that, I almost quit, and I thank goodness I didn't, because a few days later, I took the trade that changed everything. I share that story in this video. Now, most of you watching this video, you don't have those same resources that I had at Trillium, or maybe you can't commit 50 or 60 hours per week for years like I had done. But that does not mean you cannot win. I have helped hundreds of traders go from bad to great through my trading course and content. So if you're trading without a firm, it just means you need to adjust your expectations for how long success might take and seek the proper resources to get you there. Having the wrong expectations and not seeking ways to learn more efficiently means you often don't give yourself the runway needed for success. If I were to give myself 6 months to become a pro golfer on my own, I might as well not even start, because it will never happen. The same is true for trading. You are better off not starting if you don't have a way you can learn or a reasonable time frame in which to succeed. Sin number 2. Your lifestyle is growing faster than your account. Committing the sin means that you're putting more and more pressure onto your trading. I've seen traders who were improving but bleeding so much money outside the market on their lifestyle that they could not escape it. That type of pressure forces bad decisions. You start needing trades to work instead of letting them work. And often traders start spending hard after a great stretch in the market, which is exactly when the market is most likely to hit a difficult patch for your trading. The traders who last in this career are boring with the money they make. They wire out of their account. They build up cash stockpiles, and they invest in safe, boring strategies to barbell the risk they're taking in their career. But honestly, this is what I want you to hear. No matter where you get to in your trading career, you need to always minimize external pressures. I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life, but whatever you do not want extra financial pressure on you, or else it will impair your decisions and your judgment. Trading is a game of making the right decisions at the right time under pressure. Otherwise, it can take you out of the game. And I've seen this so often at Trillium, and even with my friends on the retail side. No matter how good you think you are, there will inevitably be a market that humbles you. Every trader I know, including myself, has gone through drawdowns that have lasted months, and for some traders, even years. It is so easy to get over your skis when times are good and think that it will always continue to be good. People buy the nice homes with the mortgage, the nice cars with the leases, but then when that downturn comes, they are left with a mortgage and more pressure bearing down on them. But the reality is, drawdowns are part of trading. You will lose, and you will keep losing if you don't learn from your drawdowns, which, by the way, I share the exact steps I follow after my drawdowns in this video. The third sin is risking real capital before you've proven you have an edge. I've watched countless traders jump straight into real money because they want the emotional rush or the real experience. All that does is accelerate unnecessary losses. You earn the right to trade real capital by proving with data that something actually works. Until then, your job is to learn, not to make money. My email is littered with countless horror stories of traders that started risking huge amounts of capital before they had edge. These are people that have lost college funds and nest eggs. I understand the human desire to jump right in, but if you are one of those people, trust me, you do not want to lose a huge chunk of that money before you even know what you're doing. Once it's gone, it's too late. There is no undo button in this business. Instead, what you should be doing is starting off in a demo account where you aren't risking real money. You want to collect data on all your trades to see if they perform in a demo environment. Now, here's the thing. Demo accounts often offer unrealistic fills and don't necessarily take into account commissions and fees. But that is still better than risking real capital. If you appear to have edge in demo, then and only then should you start trading live. But start with as small an amount of capital as possible. to again make sure your strategy holds up in real market conditions. From there, if profitable, you can start gradually scaling bigger. The fourth sin is comparing your progress to other people's. This one is poison. You scroll social media and see someone claiming a massive day or a huge month, and suddenly your own progress feels pathetic. What you don't see are their drawdowns, their risk, or whether they'll even be around in a year, or whether their trades are even real or not. We have seen so many frauds and cherry-picked wins in this industry. In the end, trading is not a race. Everyone's starting point, capital base, and learning curve is different. The moment you trade someone else's timeline instead of your own, you lose focus on the only thing that matters: you getting better and you reaching your goals. I have seen traders in my trading community that have had really solid months, but then they view themselves as a failure because some anonymous person online theoretically performed better than them. Not only do you not know their account size, whether it's true or not, their years of experience, their style, or anything else, but most people that you are comparing yourselves to in the trading world never have survivability anyways. I have seen so many people come and go, and there are times where we anchor our performance to that of others when those people will not even be in the industry a few years from now. Trading is always a game of you versus you and you versus the market. Everyone else's performance is irrelevant. My next video is on how to trade with the market and not against it. So make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications if you haven't yet. The fifth sin is obsessing over outcome instead of process. This is where most emotional damage comes from. Traders fixate on P&L instead of execution. A green day with bad discipline gets celebrated, and a red day with perfect execution feels like failure. That is totally backwards. Long-term success comes from stacking optimal good decisions, not chasing just an outcome. When I review my own trading, I care far more about whether I followed my rules than how much money I made that day. That is also the reason why every day I was filling out a daily report card. The daily report card forced me to focus in on the most important area I was trying to improve in and judge my success each day on whether I accomplished that, not whether my P&L was red or green. You can learn more about those daily report cards and how I structured mine in this video. The sixth sin is not listening to the chart. Traders love opinions, narratives, and predictions. The problem is the market doesn't care what you think. The chart is the final vote. I've seen traders argue with price and justify why something should go up and ignore clear signals that they're wrong. The chart tells you when you're early, when you're wrong, and when the trade is dead. Your job is to listen, not to debate it. If you want to succeed, no ego, amigo. The seventh sin is trading alone without community. Trading is brutally isolating if you do it in a vacuum. When you're alone, bad habits grow unchecked. There's no feedback loop and no accountability. No one to test your thinking. Every strong trader I know either came up in a firm environment or deliberately built community around them. If you were to listen to how Mr. Beast became the greatest content creator of all time, he attributes it to the fact that when he was a teenager, him and a few friends formed a pod that was obsessed with YouTube. All they did all day was talk about YouTube. They would test hooks and thumbnails and obsess over different ways they could improve their videos while sharing their lessons and mistakes with each other. This accelerated their learning, it motivated them, and it gave them a group to grow with. There is almost nobody that has achieved true greatness on their own. Not only will you learn faster, but ultimately you will just have so much more fun. I promise. The best part of trading is the relationships, communities, and priceless memories you build with your trader friends over the course of your career. That was always true for me and my friends at Trillium. The eighth sin is fighting the trend. This one is simple but deadly. You traders love calling tops and bottoms because it makes you feel smart. In reality, it's ego. Trends exist because money is flowing in one direction. Fighting that flow without a clear, tested reason is one of the fastest ways to blow your account. Some of the easiest money in trading comes from aligning yourself with the dominant trend and waiting for clear entries instead of trying to be a hero. Every style of trading I do is all about being with the trend, or after a capitulation, being with the counter trend. Although the cliche is always stated, that does not mean it is not important. Our job as traders is to live with the trend. The trend truly is your friend. And to learn more about how I define the trend and how you can create simple rules to help you trade with it, make sure to check out this video. The ninth sin is not having risk management safeguards. This is non-negotiable. If you don't have predefined stops, daily loss limits, and clear rules for when to step away, you're inevitably going to blow up. I've seen great traders survive terrible days because their safeguards kicked in, and I've seen incredibly talented traders wipe themselves out because they didn't have them. Risk management isn't about limiting upside. It's about ensuring you live to trade another day. The 10th and final sin is not having proper mentorship. This doesn't mean blindly copying someone else's trades. It means learning from people who've already made the mistakes you're about to make. When you try to figure everything out alone, you pay full tuition to the market. A good mentor shortens the learning curve, helps you avoid obvious traps, and gives you a framework to build on instead of guessing in the dark. If you look at any performance activity, most of the high performers got there through mentorship. This might have come in the form of different coaches or from learning from people that have already done what they're trying to do. This leads to the common question of how to find a mentor. This question is so common that I've written up this topic many times on X. But to summarize, you want to look for someone a few levels ahead of you. Be respectful and grateful of their time, and make sure you have some reciprocal value that you can offer them. Great places to find a mentor are at Traders for a Cause events. I recognize many people will want the easier path towards mentorship, and that's what I'm here for. The whole reason why I'm making content is to help provide my knowledge and my insights that I've learned after over a decade on Wall Street to you all at home so that you can compete with the best. If you aren't subscribed to this channel, hit that subscribe button, and if you're really serious, consider checking out my training course. If you enjoy my content, I get far more granular in that course, sharing exactly what I think of the best opportunities each month, doing live Ask Lance Anything sessions, and a full trading community is there as well. If you're honest with yourself, you probably recognize at least a few of these sins. I know I've made probably all of them. That's a good thing. Awareness is the first step towards fixing them. Trading is not about perfection. It's about you systematically removing the behaviors that sabotage you. Clean up these 10 areas, and you give yourself a real chance in a game where most people never do. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.